Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another session of Pulaski County Fiscal Court. Certainly glad to see everyone here. Nice crowd. Weather's getting better. Springtime is here, we're hoping, so everything is looking up for the county. Appreciate everyone being here. As normal, we do a moment of silence. And then I've asked Mr. Wheeldon to do the pledge. But first of all, I'd like to have any concerns in the community or on your thoughts today. Anybody on a prayer?
Sheriff's call.
Yeah, Bobby?
Chief Wilson, my chief deputy, lost his father, so the funeral's gonna be this week. He lost his father. Remember that happened.
All right. Thank you. Anybody else?
One of my dear friends, he's lives up in Lincoln County, but he's used to work for AOC, and he's the architect of most of the judicial centers in the state. His name's Garland Van Hook, and he's just been recently diagnosed with a very rare blood disorder that they're trying to. There's apparently no treatment for it, and it's very, very rare, but it can be maybe managed. So.
That's Garland Van Hook?
Yeah.
Okay. Remember those? Anybody else? If not, then let's do a moment of silence, and then Mr. Wheeldon will lead us in the pledge. Thank you very much. Everyone please stand and face the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order of business this morning would be to approve the minutes from February 25th meeting. I think we have a copy of those in front of you. If you see any additions or changes to be made in it, speak at this time.
Motion to approve.
Mr. Strunk makes a motion to approve the minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Wilson. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
No.
You opposed? Motion carries. The minutes will stand as read. In new business, we have open bids for Dabney Volunteer Fire Department. We did this last month and we didn't have any bids, but I think we do have one today.
Looks like we got one. Don't even need my knife. This is from Don Franklin Auto. 3 Ram 550 chassis cab with flatbed and boxes, $68,000.
I make a motion that we accept the bid for review.
Mr. Renshaw makes a motion to accept the bid from Don Franklin for review. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Strunk. Any comments or questions? All in favor would say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Take that and review it now if you like, and let us know here in a bit. That's it, nothing. We don't have anything on this.
I think we've still got some details to work out on that probably, so. Okay, we can just maybe try to take care of it.
The next item that's on the agenda is food trucks permit and background checks. We're going to hold on that. We got some more details to work out, so we'll have that back on a future agenda. The one item that's not on the agenda that's came in recently due to the flooding at the park and the massive amount of cleanup and opening day approaching in a couple of weeks. 1st of April, we're going to be hopefully moving some RV stuff in first week in April, and as you know, the park is somewhat flooded. We got several campsites underwater. The electric, all the new electric is underwater, a lot of it, so we have got a lot of damage control down there, so I'm going to ask the court to approve 2 hires today to help clean up the park. The first one will be Jordan Taylor. I'm going to do them separate. So
Motion.
I'm going to ask for Jordan Taylor for hire at the park.
Motion.
Second.
Mr. Strunk makes a motion, and Mr. Wilson seconds. Any discussion on this hire? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. The next one would be Kevin Wallace, same position at the park.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson,
Second.
second by Mr. Wheeldon. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. And we'll ask for those to be, get in line for their preliminary drug test and things to happen to make sure they can go to work as soon as possible, because we're in a little bit of a crunch to get that stuff cleaned up. Hopefully the Corps will keep letting the water down and we don't get any more rain. Moving on to the department reports. First will be the sheriff. Bobby.
Good morning.
Morning, Bob.
I got a couple of motions I need to do. First thing is, I think Teresa has handed out the 2024 year-end report for y'all to have to review. But I'll need a motion to accept that 2024 year-end report.
We need
Don't believe it made it up here. You got it. Was that it?
Yeah.
Oh, you need,
There.
you got
Do we have to
another
approve it?
copy?
No, it's sheriff.
Mark, do we have to approve it?
You have to approve it?
We don't have to make a
Motion to accept it. Make a motion to.
Yeah, they were, I thought it was Chris's stuff.
Wait. Motion to accept the report.
Let's ask, since these auditors get a little persnickety, is this something the auditors want accepted or just accepted as, I know we went through this before,
Yeah.
or?
Just received it.
Yeah, okay,
Have a vote.
yeah.
Who made that motion?
Renshaw.
Mr. Renshaw makes a motion to accept this report. Do I have a second by Mr. Strunk? Any other discussion? Bobby, do you have anything to discuss on this report anymore?
No, unless y'all got any questions on it, it's there for y'all to review, but if y'all have any questions, I've got an open door policy, and I'll probably send you over to Teresa. Just for transparency. But yeah, if y'all got any questions, just let me know.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes to accept.
Okay. And the second one is for the excess fees, just for the public knowledge, at the end of every year, we have excess fees from tax commissions that we have to collect. This year, the excess fees is $158,658.96. So I need a motion to accept this check.
Motion. Second.
Motion by Mr. Wilson and a second by Mr. Renshaw to accept the excess fees from the Sheriff's Department. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes.
All right, thank you. You want to sign this now, or you want to just do it at the end?
Do it then. Thanks, Sheriff. Next will be solid waste.
This morning I'm bringing the Kentucky Waste Tire cleanup agreement to court for approval. April the 3rd, 4th, and 5th we'll be hosting our, it happens every 3 years. This is our year to host it, so we just need to get approval for the judge to execute this agreement with the state. The event this year in past has been at the State Highway Department. We're going to actually have it at our compost site. There's more room up there, and we'll be able to get trucks in and out safer and get the tires out a little quicker than what we would have at the State Highway Garage.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw and a second by Mr. Turner. Any more discussion on this waste tire?
This is a fine time for everybody to collect their tires and get them turned in and get rid of them for free right now, so.
All in favor, say aye.
uh,
Any opposed? Motion accepted.
Thank you.
Thanks, Danny. Ernie, you want to present your review of the bid?
Yeah, we have reviewed the bid for the brush truck for Dabney Fire Department. The bid matches our specifications, and I'd like to ask the board to approve that bid, if you would, please.
I make a motion, we approve the bid for Dabney Fire Department to purchase a brush truck from Don Franklin.
Second.
Mr. Renshaw makes the motion to accept the bid, and Mr. Wheeldon seconds. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The bid is accepted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ernie. Next on the list would be emergency management. Mr. Chris?
Good morning. I'd like to take this opportunity to speak not just to the court, but also all of our citizens that are watching this morning. Of course, we know storm season's coming. We kind of got a little bit of taste of that early last week with some of those high winds, and we kind of got a look of, okay, here's kind of what's coming down the pike. And so I was asked to put together a little bit of a list of some things that we can do within the county to help our citizens get ready for what's been traditionally a pretty active weather event. There's a really nice article, by the way, I'd like to mention in Lake Cumberland Compass Magazine, lcccompass.com, that's going to cover a lot of what I'm going to cover this morning. And I will also post this document on our webpage and our Facebook. But just some of the highlights that I'd like to hit on this morning, if I could, please. If you haven't already done so after last week, let's go ahead and secure some loose items. If you've got stuff around your house that the wind can pick up and fling through windows and across the yard, you might want to go ahead and start thinking about taking care of that fairly quickly. As we got a good look last week, wind can pick stuff up and move it rather quickly, rather impressive distances. If you have somewhat an emergency kit, non-perishable foods, water, first aid supplies, flashlights, batteries, important documents, and medications, let's go to be thinking about doing that as well. We could run into a scenario where power could be down for several days, and that would be a situation where that emergency kit would come in really, really handy. Have a good communications plan with your family. Discuss evacuation plans with your family and designate meeting points. Don't forget those members of your family that a lot of folks forget, have a pet plan. A lot of folks, we found out this winter that a lot of folks would show up at shelters and they hadn't made allowances for their animals. And that tends to create a little bit of a problem. So have a plan for that member of your family as well. If you haven't already done so, sign up for Code Red. We've been pushing that on our Facebook and our webpage. I know it's not the perfect solution, but it's pretty good. We've put really clear directions on how to turn off some of the unnecessary alerts, so it's not going off at 3 o'clock in the morning looking for this, that, and the other. So if you follow those directions through, that'll help you out quite a bit. When you're doing that emergency kit, you're looking for about 1 gallon of water per person for 3 days. So make sure, again, that you have a good water supply. And 3 days supply of non-perishable foods as well. Pack all that up into a tight plastic container so that if weather does impact you, your supplies will remain dry. Some basic items for your first aid kit. Just some stuff off the top of my head. Sterile gloves and dressings, soap and antibiotic towelettes, ointment, adhesive bandages in various sizes. Eye wash solution. You'd be surprised when that dust kicks up, get stuff in your eyes. An eye wash solution is going to really become important. For those of you that are on prescription medications, make sure you've got an ample supply of them. You could run into a scenario where the computers are down and you won't be able to get a hold of your medication for a little while. That'd be something you're absolutely going to need. Have a good first aid book. There's several I could recommend, but just a good first aid book. Sanitation becomes an issue as well. Make sure you've got, well, we learned this when we get bad weather and all the toilet paper gets bought out, so make sure you've got a good supply of toilet paper and soap. Plastic bags and ties are going to make a big difference. Have a plastic bucket with a tight lid, and chlorine bleach. Again, one of those items that tends to go out pretty quick. For some tools and supplies, I'd say have a wrench to turn off your gas and your water lines if you have destruction on your property. Cups, plates, and utensils. Most of you have that stuff anyway. If you have a camper, go ahead and raid your camping supplies. Just remember to put it back before you go to the park. Have a light source. I can't tell you the number of times, and I've personally been caught with I found out last night my flashlight in my house didn't work. It's like, oh, that's bad. Luckily, I had a couple backups, but the first flashlight I picked up, the batteries were dead. So something you might want to keep an eye on. Check your light sources. Solar works, by the way, in the event that you don't have batteries. Have a manual can opener. I don't know how many of you still have one of those in your house, but if you don't have one, get one. It's great to have all these canned goods and then realize, oh, I can't open this thing. Pliers. Duct tape fixes everything. For those of you that don't agree with me on that, I can attest that it does. Have a good roll of duct tape. Matches in a waterproof container. And as I said earlier, a plastic storage container to keep everything in one place. So you have it, it's there. And then the last thing I would talk to you about is make sure that you have your key documents stored off-site somewhere. I'm talking about wills, insurance policies, contracts, deeds, passports, social security cards, bank account numbers, credit card account numbers, and your family records. Keep those off-site somewhere, so in the event that you do suffer some home damage, you're not scrambling around trying to find that stuff. And like I said, I'm going to go ahead and put this document. There's a lot more items on here I didn't take the time to read, but I'm going to go ahead and post this document on our webpage and also our Facebook page. With storm season pretty much on top of us, just some things I'd like the community to think about. Any questions for me?
I have a question for the court. Burn bans. We put it out there last week about a burn ban, but we only got it out there on Facebook. And I asked this question a few times in the past, who has permission to use the Code Red system to get the word out there about burn bans? My fire department was on a fire for 10 hours last week. I know Tateville was on fires. I know Shopville was on fires. We're not getting the word out about burn bans. If the weather department issues a red flag warning or nothing, we're not, other than Facebook, that's the only avenue we got to get the word out there, and it's not getting out there.
I've got it.
Who, and I keep saying, well, who has permission to put out a Code Red? And I get all these names, and then when I talk to them, nobody has permission to do it. So can we have one person be able to put messages out on Code Red, like Helm or 911 or something like that?
911 has control of it right now, magistrate, and they are setting an account up for me. So I will also have the ability to do so. When you brought that issue to my attention, I made a couple of phone calls, and then I had to leave town, so I wasn't able to follow up on it. But thank you for reminding me, and I will follow up on that.
I mean, it's going to be warm the next few days.
Yes, sir.
Right before the storm coming in, the winds are going to be picking up again, and these volunteer fire departments, then we have to get the forestry out there and all that. And I want people to realize, if you burn on a Code Red day, the forestry can fine you. And if you burn somebody else's property, you can be responsible for paying that back. So please be aware of those days, and don't burn when it's windy. And don't forget, anytime you burn, you need to inform 911 that you're going to do a controlled burn, because if not, they send out the volunteer fire departments, and hopefully you got hot dogs and marshmallows when they show up. So
I'll follow up with that, sir.
But I think we need a clear path of who can address stuff on Code Red and get the word out there.
Understood, sir.
Thank you.
Take care of it. Anything else? Okay.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you for your time.
Next up is the Road Department. Wayne?
Morning.
Morning.
I'd like to ask for 3,000 ton of rock.
Motion.
Got a motion by Mr. Wilson and a second by Mr. Wheeler. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. That one always passes, Wayne.
Yeah. Now I'd like to ask approval for the road list.
All right.
Motion.
Hold on just a minute.
That's
We
speed
got a
limit.
road list in front of us. I do have a speed limit on Stevens Lane in the second district of 15 mile per hour. I need a motion to pass that.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw,
Second.
second by Mr. Turpin. All in favor of the speed limit on Stevens Lane, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And that one passes. Now I need a motion to approve the road list.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw,
Second.
second by Mr. Turpin. Any discussion on the road list?
Just to remind everybody that we all have a lot of damage in our districts from the flooding and the winter, and I've got over 130 roads on my road list that needs repaired, so it's going to take the road department a long time to get everything back in order. So just be patient with the road department, be patient with the magistrates. I mean, we can only do so much at one time, so just a reminder to everybody, be patient, and we'll get to everybody as fast as we can.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to commend the road department. I personally went out with them last couple of days, and they are really cranking it out there as far as the damage in the roads and looking at stuff. And I've actually had a chance to review some of the repairs that started. And I just want to get on record that they're doing a phenomenal job. And I personally watched them doing it. And I just think that folks need to know how hard the folks from the road department are working. And I personally watched them do it.
While you're up, you might mention that FEMA and State Emergency Management's been in the county for the last few days.
They have, sir. So we went around and reviewed.
You need to go up there.
You just stay with me. I will mention, sir, that we did have FEMA and state in county. We were out here late last week and early this week, and what we've done is we started to look at the specific damage to specific roads that were mentioned, and we did meet our state threat. We did meet our county minimum threshold and our state minimum threshold. So I'm going to start the process now and have already started it to hopefully get some money back to help make the repairs to the county road systems that were damaged in the flood. I will caution everybody, this is a long, slow, difficult process. This will not happen overnight. There will be multiple meetings, multiple checkpoints, paperwork I'll have to get filled out to make sure everything's done on time. And we're not the only ones that are in this boat right now. I spent just over a week up at State and got a good first-hand look at Perry, Pike, Breathitt, come to mind. And we are blessed because those counties are going to take years to get put back together. So we're in good shape there. But I'll echo Mr. Ranshaw's comments by saying it will take time, but the process has started. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we have a motion on the floor for the road list. Did we vote that?
Yeah, I made a motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Next will be our treasurer's report. Ms. Chrissa.
Yes, today I'm looking for approval to promote Heather Hill to Assistant Treasurer.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Renshaw,
Second.
second by Mr. Strunk. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes.
Second thing is the approval of the March bill list.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Redshaw to approve the bill list, second by Mr. Strunk. Any discussion on that? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Bill list is approved. Is that the end of your report?
That's it.
All right. At this time, we will ask for citizens' comments.
Go ahead, sorry.
Do we have any citizens' comments that would like to appear before the court? Please approach the podium and state your name.
Yes, my name is Donald Cooper, and I've got a question for the fiscal court. Why would you want to build a campground in a floodplain area? You're wasting county money by doing this. That's my comment to you all. I believe you all are intelligent to correct this situation of the flooding in Pulaski County Park. Thank you.
I can address that. Up till the last two, we've only had, since I've been in office, we've had only 2 issues with flooding at the park. And both of them, we had one weekend where we had 7 inches of rain. And this last event, we've had 5 inches of rain. These are unprecedented amount of rainfall we get in this area at one time. And unfortunately, the way it worked, this was a regional rainfall. So the Corps of Engineers actually had to stop flow from Lake Cumberland so it didn't flood as much down. If you guys remember 5 years ago, Nashville flooded. All the water from up here goes towards Nashville. If you remember, I think it was the Opry House got flooded down there. So the Corps of Engineers got this program where they shut off, for a couple days, they shut off our dam. Currently, the dam's flowing. I keep track of the dam. It's flowing wide open right now to try to get it down. But when you have unprecedented rain to the amounts we had 5 years ago with 7 inches, and then again 5 inches in this last one on top of saturated frozen ground, there's nowhere else for that water to go. That park's been there for, I don't know how many years. How many years has the park, Pulaski County Park's been there?
Long time.
And it's very rarely that it floods to the amount it's been flooding those last 2 times. So, and even when it does clean up, yes, it causes debris to come in from the lake and all that, but we do get it cleaned up in pretty fast time to get that park right open for the people to use. So that's my reason for why those parks are flooding. It's not something we're doing. It's something that God, Mother Nature does. Have you heard of any other flooding events, that amount of water that we've had those last 2 times?
We've had a lot.
Well, there floodplains over 100 years, and a lot of places will not let you build in those floodplains. So why is the county going to build in any floodplain?
Well, don't build anything.
I know in the 70s.
All they are is campsites there. There's no structures in there where it floods.
Except for restaurants or something.
Yeah, but your electric is underwater. Your sewers are underwater if you got them.
Don't have sewer there.
Well, you've got plenty of land to keep out of this floodplain, is what I'm saying.
So it's actually the Corps of Engineers' property. They just give us permission to use it.
Right.
So if the Corps of Engineer had an issue with major flooding there, they wouldn't be letting us use it.
Well, it has flooded many times out there
So,
over the years. I was away from here for several years, and I know it flooded back up in the parking lot there at Fiscal Creek on this side of the lake.
I'm just telling you, since I've been in office 6 years,
Right.
there's only been 2
But there's
flood
multiple.
events that I know of.
But there's multiple times it does flood. Thank you.
Any other comments from the citizens?
If I could, Marshall, I'd like.
All right, Tim. That's reserved for delaying just for you.
Oh, my mistake.
I just wanted to kind of give a little bit of update on what's going on at the clerk's office. As you know, we struggled a little bit, and you guys was kind to help us out there at the first of the year. And thank you very much for that. I tell you what, that shot in the arm really has helped us. Things are looking up. We're going in the right direction. And I just want to take just a moment to thank my staff. I'm telling you, they have went above and beyond with the issues we've had. You know, we're short on help, and March and April is our two busiest months in the clerk's office. But my people have stepped up. They're doing jobs they don't normally do. And I would just like to ask the public to be considerate during this time, which they have. The public has been great. They're understanding. And I just thought, you know, just a little bit of message of what's going on. Things that we couldn't help happen, but you all was good enough to help us through this. And in the future going forward, hopefully we can make some adjustments and won't run into this again. I don't know how that's going to be, but I just want to thank everybody, because this took a team effort. It's not just my office, but it's you all, it's the public, everybody being understanding during this time. And it's a big deal to our people, as hard as they're working, if you'll be understanding and easy with them, because man, they're really having to dig in deep right now in these 2 months. But I just want to take a moment just to brag on them. I can't say enough about that. And to thank the public and everybody for their help in this matter. And we are on the right track. Okay?
Tim, is the financing, is the fees coming in better? I knew you were struggling early part of the year because of a slowdown from the state
Absolutely.
card issue. Is it picking up now?
Yes, absolutely, Judge. I'm glad you mentioned that. If y'all remember back, for whatever reason, those cards that get issued, it has my name on it, but my office does not issue those. Those come from the state. Well, January, there was a mix-up and no cards were mailed out in January. Well, with no cards mailed out, people weren't coming in and paying their taxes. So to resolve that issue, they got those straightened out, but at the same time, they sent February and March together. And that March is like our biggest month. But that has really helped us, and the fees are coming in good now. And we won't know till about the middle of this month, a little bit later to where we're at in February. But I can tell you that January we ended up in a positive, and it's going to take some time for these things to work themselves out, what the adjustments that we've made. But I just wanted to kind of inform the public what's going on and let you all know that everything that is done is appreciated. And if you get a chance, thank my people. They've really got out there and dug in and worked hard. Okay. Anybody got a question or anything else that I might? Mark, you don't have a question?
No, I'm just glad I know we struggled there and had a couple meetings and worked things out, and I'm glad to hear things are back on track. Thank your employees. There was an adjustment over there. Unfortunately, we had to make some adjustment. You had to make some hard decisions over there. So, I appreciate the employees that have taken and worked their way through this, and hopefully with the changes over there, the employees that unfortunately had to move on, hopefully they're in better positions now, and everybody was able to find another job. So
thank you for that. And again, thank you, Court, and everybody, and the public as well.
Thanks, Tim. I want to address one issue that's been brought to my attention. The gas line that's been proposed to go to Cooper Power, East Kentucky Power, is putting that in. I don't want to speak too much here, but they have got a designated route from Lincoln County to John Sherman Cooper Power at this time. It's a 30-inch gas line. It will be coming through Pulaski County, 28 miles or so of it. TC Energy, a group out of Houston, it's headquartered out of Houston, Texas. They're in charge of putting it in, my understanding. They have sent out letters to many homeowners and landowners, and there is some concern in the community. Martin just reminded me that he's getting texts and phone calls about it. And there is some concern in the community about where it's going to go and how much disturbance it's going to be with the land that it goes through. It's not set in stone exactly where it's at, but we know it's coming from near Halls Gap at Stanford, across Halls Gap, and it crosses 27 north of Eubank, and then goes down the left side, if you're coming from the north, the east side of 27, across campground area, Pump House Road on the east side of Somerset. And most of the people that's affected have got a letter. So we understand there are concerns, but the energy group will work with the landowners in moving that line slightly so it won't affect a home or anything like that. It will be purchased property, a right-of-way as it moves that way, but it is some time off. They're hoping to have it live by 2029, 2030, somewhere around there. It is going to happen, but they will work with us in the location of where it's at. But it's needed. We see it every day on the grid is at capacity now, and Cooper Power has proposed, East Kentucky Power has proposed, they're doing a complete new generating system there, a new unit coming online in 2030, and then the one that they have, one of the ones they have there now are going to be converted to natural gas and coal so it can stay online because it is very needed. Our capacity for electricity is getting huge, more large every day. So that's the reason for the line. It'll be a great thing, but let's just work with the people, and I think the energy group that's going to do it will work. I've met them. They're very nice people. They've done this all over the world, and Pulaski's no different. It is going to have a huge impact on the county. It's going to create about 1,000 jobs for the 2 to 3 years they're here. The building, working on the power plant plus the gas line will be over 1,000 jobs. They'll be in the community. They're going to be using private contractors here in the county to do a lot of it. So just be patient. It's something that's going to help the county in the future because it is definitely going to be needed.
If I may, calls I've gotten have been where Columbia Gas have been contacting landowners, and typically only governmental entities have the ability to come in and possess your property or force an easement across your property. But the Public Service Commission has delegated authority to Columbia Gas to do that. So pursuant to what the judge is talking about, and you need to, this isn't legal advice to you, but you need to talk to your own private attorneys. This really isn't even a county issue necessarily, but of course we get calls about it. It's just like when the state comes in to take your property to build a road. That's kind of what Columbia Gas is going to have the authority to do. So you either have the right, you have the right to negotiate with them and negotiate the amount of money they're going to pay you for an easement, or if you don't want the easement or you can't come to an agreement, then they will have the right to go ahead and use the legal system to obtain an easement. So anyway, but again, you need to talk to private counsel about that if you get approached by them and you can't work out a specific agreement with them.
How did they get permission to do?
PSC, Public Service Commission, sorry.
The state or federal level?
State.
The state?
State Public Service Commission.
Gave them the right to just go in and take an easement.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
They will be having, the TC Energy Group, is my understanding, will be having an open house I think at the center the first week in June. It's not been made public yet. I guess I'm making it public now, but it's not a definite date yet. But they said somewhere around the first week in June they'll have an open house hearing for all concerned citizens of where they're going, and they'll have a little more definite location on the line. But it's going to happen. Just be prepared for it. It's needed. It'll be good for our community. If we're looking for the future, we have to have electricity. We have to have the grid upgraded. So it's progress, whether we like it or not. If it came through my property, it would it would just come through. It's, I'm willing to accept it because it's progress for the future. And it's not going to be a detriment to your property, I don't think, at all. It'll be an easement through it, but it's going to be buried. They do it every day across the United States, and there's practically no danger at all to it. So they have to meet so many safety codes that it's almost foolproof in today's world.
My understanding is that you need you have a personnel issue, that you need a private or a session on, to go in executive session pursuant to 618101F.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Wilson to go into executive session, second by Mr. Strunk. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We will be in executive session for a few moments. If you're welcome to stay around. If not, we'll catch you the next one. I need a motion to come out of executive session.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Whirlden, second by Mr. Turpin. All in favor, say aye. We are now back in normal session at Pulaski County Fiscal Court. No action taken in executive session. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
By Mr. Wilson and second by Mr. Renshaw. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are standing adjourned. Thank you.